Imagine a world shrouded in darkness, where knowledge is a tightly guarded secret hidden from the masses. This was the reality of the Middle Ages, an era often referred to as the Dark Ages due to the pervasive presence of obscurantism. Obscurantism, in simple terms, is the deliberate suppression or withholding of knowledge from the people. During the Middle Ages, Europe experienced a decline in intellectual and cultural progress. The fall of the Roman Empire had left a void, and into this void stepped a powerful force, the Church. The Church, with its vast influence, became the gatekeeper of knowledge, dictating what was acceptable to think and believe. This control over information had far-reaching consequences, shaping the lives of millions and hindering the advancement of society. For centuries, the shadow of obscurantism loomed large, stifling curiosity, suppressing innovation, and keeping humanity locked in a cage of ignorance. The Church during the Middle Ages held immense power and influence, extending its reach into every aspect of life. It was not just a spiritual authority but also a political and cultural force that shaped the medieval world. One of the most significant ways it exerted control was by monopolizing knowledge. The Church ensured that it was the gatekeeper of all intellectual and scholarly pursuits. Monasteries with their libraries became the primary repositories of learning, but access to these collections was tightly restricted. Only a select few were permitted to study these texts, ensuring that knowledge remained within the Church's domain. The vast majority of the population, unable to read or write, relied on the Church for information. This dependence allowed the Church to control the narrative and maintain its authority over the masses. Priests and monks interpreted the Bible and other religious texts, dictating the Church's doctrines as absolute truths. Their teachings were rarely questioned by the common people. Questioning these teachings was considered heresy, a dangerous path that could lead to imprisonment or even death. The Church used fear to suppress dissent and maintain its grip on knowledge. Scientific inquiry, seen as a challenge to religious dogma, was actively discouraged. Scholars who dared to question the Church's teachings faced severe consequences. The Church held fast to ancient Greek and Roman texts, some of which contained inaccurate or outdated scientific theories. These texts were selectively preserved and interpreted to align with religious beliefs. These theories, often blended with religious beliefs, were presented as unassailable truths, further solidifying the Church's grip on knowledge. This fusion of science and religion ensured that the Church remained the ultimate authority on both spiritual and intellectual matters. The suppression of knowledge during the Middle Ages extended beyond the control of information. It also targeted individuals whose ideas challenged the prevailing dogma. Scholars, scientists, and thinkers who dared to question or contradict the Church's teachings often faced severe consequences. One such figure was Galileo Galilei, an Italian astronomer who supported the heliocentric model of the solar system, the idea that the Earth revolves around the Sun. This theory, contradicting the Church's geocentric view, was deemed heretical. Galileo, despite his groundbreaking discoveries, was forced to recant his beliefs and spent the rest of his life under house arrest. Galileo's story is not unique. Countless other thinkers, their names lost to history, faced persecution and censorship for daring to challenge the Church's authority. Their ideas, which could have propelled scientific and societal progress, were silenced, buried under the weight of religious dogma. Education, the key to unlocking human potential, became another casualty of obscurantism during the Middle Ages. While the Church did establish monastic schools and universities, these institutions primarily served to educate future clergy and reinforce religious doctrines. The curriculum focused heavily on theology, philosophy, and Latin, the language of the Church. Scientific subjects, if taught at all, were presented through a religious lens, reinforcing the Church's worldview. Critical thinking and independent inquiry were discouraged in favor of rote memorization and unquestioning obedience. This restrictive approach to education had a profound impact on society. It limited access to knowledge for the masses, perpetuating a cycle of ignorance and dependence on the Church. The potential for innovation and progress remained largely untapped, as generations were denied the tools to think critically and explore the world around them. Section 5. The Price of Ignorance, Societal Stagnation. The consequences of obscurantism during the Middle Ages were far-reaching, casting a long shadow over European society. The suppression of knowledge and the stifling of intellectual curiosity contributed to a period of stagnation and decline in various aspects of life. Scientific advancements were few and far between, as the Church's dominance discouraged experimentation and the pursuit of new knowledge. Medical practices remained rooted in superstition and outdated theories, leading to ineffective treatments and a higher susceptibility to diseases. Beyond the realm of science, obscurantism also hindered social and technological progress. Innovation was stifled, and new ideas were met with resistance. The lack of access to education and the suppression of critical thinking kept the majority of the population trapped in a cycle of poverty and ignorance. Section 6. Seeds of Change, Cracks in the Wall. Despite the pervasive nature of obscurantism during the Middle Ages, seeds of change were being sown. These seeds, though small and often overlooked, would eventually grow into powerful forces of transformation. The late Middle Ages witnessed the emergence of several factors that would eventually challenge the Church's grip on knowledge and pave the way for a new era of enlightenment. Intellectual curiosity began to flourish in unexpected places. One such factor was the rise of universities, which became centers of learning and debate. While initially established to support religious education, universities gradually began to incorporate more diverse subjects including mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. This diversification of knowledge was a significant step forward. This shift, though subtle, marked a growing thirst for knowledge beyond the confines of religious dogma. Scholars and students alike started to question and explore new ideas. Another crucial development was the invention of the printing press in the 15th century, a true game-changer in the world of information. This groundbreaking technology revolutionized the dissemination of information, making books more readily available and affordable. It democratized knowledge in a way that had never been seen before. The printed word, no longer confined to monasteries and universities, began to reach a wider audience, slowly chipping away at the Church's monopoly on knowledge. This was the beginning of a new intellectual era. Section 7. Renaissance Dawn, The Power of Reason. The Renaissance, a period of great cultural and intellectual rebirth, marked a decisive break from the obscurantism that had characterized the Middle Ages. Fueled by a renewed interest in classical learning, humanism, and a spirit of inquiry, the Renaissance championed reason, observation, and the pursuit of knowledge. Renaissance thinkers and artists, inspired by the works of ancient Greece and Rome, began to question long-held beliefs and traditions. They embraced the scientific method, emphasizing empirical evidence and experimentation over religious dogma. This shift in thinking led to groundbreaking discoveries in various fields. Nicholas Copernicus's heliocentric model of the solar system challenged the Church's geocentric view, while Leonardo da Vinci's anatomical studies advanced the understanding of the human body. The Renaissance, in essence, marked the triumph of reason over dogma, paving the way for the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment. Section 8. Echoes of the Past, Obscurantism Today. While the obscurantism that defined the Middle Ages may seem like a distant past, it's crucial to recognize that attempts to control and suppress knowledge persist even today, though in different forms. In many parts of the world, censorship, propaganda, and the spread of misinformation continue to hinder access to accurate and unbiased information. Extremist ideologies, often fueled by religious or political agendas, thrive on ignorance and fear, using these tools to manipulate and control populations. The internet, while a powerful tool for sharing knowledge, has also become a breeding ground for misinformation and disinformation, making it challenging to discern truth from falsehood. Recognizing and combating these modern forms of obscurantism is crucial for safeguarding intellectual freedom and ensuring the progress of society. Education, critical thinking, and access to reliable sources of information are essential tools in this ongoing battle. Section 9. Safeguarding Knowledge, a Timeless Imperative. The story of obscurantism, from the Dark Ages to the present day, serves as a stark reminder of the importance of protecting and promoting intellectual freedom. Throughout history, there have been countless attempts to suppress knowledge and stifle intellectual growth, often with devastating consequences. Knowledge, when freely accessible and open to debate, has the power to transform societies, drive innovation, and improve the lives of countless individuals. It is the cornerstone of progress and the bedrock upon which civilizations are built. Safeguarding knowledge requires a collective effort. It is not the responsibility of a single entity, but a shared duty that spans across communities, institutions, and nations. It involves supporting education, promoting critical thinking skills, and challenging attempts to censor or distort information. By fostering an environment where ideas can be freely exchanged, we empower individuals to think independently and innovate. It also means fostering a society that values curiosity, open dialogue, and the pursuit of truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Encouraging a culture of inquiry and skepticism is essential for the growth and development of any society. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, let us remember the lessons of the past. The struggles and triumphs of those who came before us offer invaluable insights into our own journey. Let us strive to create a world where knowledge is not a weapon to be wielded, but a shared treasure to be cherished and used to build a brighter future for all. In doing so, we honor the timeless imperative of safeguarding knowledge for generations to come.